The one that really killed me was Billy. That's the one that hurts.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really to do with me, I'm burned.
Welcome to Buzzworthy Radio. Here's your host, NaVell J. Lee.
I'm so excited to talk to you both, Savannah and Calam from Ride or Die. And I watched the entire series, and it's so much fun, but yet there's so many twists for both of your characters, primarily yours, Savannah. I'm going to start with you, because in just one episode alone, you did not have one twist. You did not have two twists. You had three. Three. And that was all in the last 10 minutes.
Yes, she did. She really, yes. And I wasn't expecting any of this.
Since you said that, so what was it like for your reaction when you saw it in the script and you immediately just went, okay, so I just basically got my characters now in a clusterfuck?
Yes, literally. Like when we first got sent it at the beginning, we only had the first 2 episodes. So I had no idea that, anything was going to happen to my dear mother, and or that I could have any other relatives around, or that any of this stuff. So, and I read it with my partner, and we read it out loud back and forth, and it was such an exciting read, such a page turner. The one that really killed me was Billy. That's the one that hurts.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really to do with me, I'm burned. I'm still burned by
that. You said that immediately, because obviously I did not read any spoilers. I didn't know anything that was going on. And when I saw it happen and when it happened, I kind of screamed, literally screamed. I'm not one that has reactions like that. That was actually one of the characters I became invested in so much that I was very, very upset. So yeah, felt you on that.
Yeah. But that's how you know that none of us are safe.
Calam, you should know this as well, that nobody's safe. First of all, I got to talk about the fact that Sam Wright, fresh out the gate, the first thing that you say to Judith is that she's basically too old for her job. When your character saying that right in the first episode, I immediately said, well, this dude's a dick already. But as we progress in the series, we come to find out that my judgment is wrong about him. The thing that was major for me was, aside from the female friendships, which was great, was the love aspect. Because especially when you're in an assassin society, the way that these characters are, that's the one thing that was emphasized throughout the entire run, was that you cannot have that attachment to anybody. And I would like both of you to speak to on this question. When you had to play that, where you really don't, in essence, have those emotions, where you can't have those emotions, what does that say to you about that? Or how do you feel about that as a human looking at that going, I can't love somebody? Because Calam, for Sam, even in the last episode, he even had that quote, I guess I chose love.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in a way, I think what Tessa was kind of asking for us as actors to do in especially those first couple of episodes is when I'm sat across from Hannah having a meeting about it, I could be an acting agent talking to an actor being like, you're past it. And I think if you play too much the stakes of the fact that they're, we're talking about assassins killing people, then I think you probably lose some of the comedy. But also, I think part of the beauty of the way Sam and Queenie are engaging with this stuff and what's naive and sweet about them is that they're not in touch with the reality of it. And I think, Judith to a degree as well, I think they're all cloaked by the safety of the fact that they're killing the people who are dying are bad people. I think that's a big thing for them. So it's okay, yes, we're in the business of killing people, but at least the people who are killing are nasty, evil people. And I think it's it was such a joy to play as an actor to go on that journey and to realize that actually, hang on, this is real stuff that's happening. These are people's lives, and we're both playing instrumental roles in kind of awful stuff happening. And how does that affect you as a young person who loves your job and finds your job really exciting, but there's a darkness underneath. There's parts of it you don't. And, I think probably everyone can relate to that in different ways. Obviously, we're not actually killing people, just to put that on record. There are parts of your job that are well, I speak for myself, actually. I'll let Savannah speak for herself there, because, I think that's important. But yeah, I think that for me was the anchor of the show, and the anchor of my performance was playing that particular journey about him realizing the stakes. But it was super fun in those first couple of episodes to not really play that, to be oh God, this this actor is going off, and speaking, there's so many points of reference I could use from my own life that felt quite fun.
Yeah. I think for Queenie, like love is not what's driving her, or maybe it's not what she doesn't realize it's what's driving her. I think she wants to be a part of this world, and she wants to like get to her goals and do her thing. But I do think like there's something that just reminds me about the way that the world is today, that it's like it just doesn't feel like love is the focus. And even with this, the agency and your job being everything, like just the way that I feel like our society is, sometimes it is that we're just working all the time, we're on our phones, we're on social media, like we don't connect as people as much anymore. I really feel that. So I feel like just switching off from all of that, and even though it's life and death and it's your work and your work is everything, and being like, but no, this is my best friend. And actually that means everything to me, is like, it's just so beautiful. And I love that.
I love it. What a way to end this. I mean, this went by way too quick, but we got to have you back on for another conversation. And hopefully for season 2, we got to do this again. But you guys, you were great. Thank you so much, especially putting up with my tank top. So
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you later.
Thanks for tuning in to The Buzz. Catch all episodes on Spotify. Remember to like and subscribe. Visit buzzworthyradiocast.com.